Title track to the album, Take Me to the Disco. That song kind of evolved from its origins. Can you speak about the evolution a little bit?
Yeah, you do your homework.
It's kind of my job.
Let's see. Well, yeah, okay, so I wrote it. It was the first album we wrote, the first song we wrote for the album, and then we went back and finished it after we had written the whole album, and I had done a lot of growth in that time, so the meaning of it shifted for me. Originally it was about I feel like Leggy doesn't feel like this actually. Like he's like, yeah, he already knew what it was about, but I was like catching up. So he's like, yeah, I knew it was about that. I thought it was about, I felt like it was about disconnect, looking for a way to just check out of reality and disconnect, and death has always been a thing for me. Like I've written, a lot of the songs have a feeling of death for me. So I'm looking at them, but you asked me the question.
You could tell them though, they're here.
Okay. But I went through a lot in that year and really started getting more connected to myself and learning a lot more about myself and digging deeper. And by the end of the album, I went back and it felt like I was writing about that, wanting to connect to myself, and really like that you're the only one. Not you're the only one in the end. I mean, we all have each other, but you have to connect to yourself. That's the only way you can connect to others, basically. Yep.
Do you find that happens often where you're writing, you're kind of working things out, and maybe you don't know what it's about, or you think it's about something, and then it turns out it's actually something entirely different?
Who are you?
I'm your biggest fan, Meg.
She should just answer the questions for me. I feel like she's me right now.
I'll be fielding all of Meg's questions for the rest of this junket.
She'll be doing the after meet and greet after. Yeah, definitely. Something really wild happened with this album, which was that I wrote it and listened to it when it was all finished, and I was just like I was bawling, crying, because I was like, everything that I had gone through in the year, and like a lot of trauma came up for me in that year when I was working through therapy, and like all of the songs, like it completely made sense. The stream of consciousness that was coming out, stream of consciousness also can come out through other people. So like when I'm working with Leggy, or when I'm, they're like, how about this? And you're like, yes, like how did you get that? But it all just sort of happens. And then and I went back and I was like, this was not about love or that guy that I broke up with. It was about this like crazy thing that happened to me at this point in my life, and that was really profound. Yeah.
Well, the amazing thing about your music to someone on the other side of it is that it's a therapy for the person listening. I mean, every time I hear a song of yours, you can feel so much emotion just through your vocal, and the way that the instrumentation plays in is brilliant. I mean, the orchestra parts on this album are they just put it over the top.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and we had live strings. My first album with live strings. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite part. Yeah.
So now in this mansion that we need to get you for your birthday, should we have a live string section that plays you in and out every time you open and close the door?
That's awesome.
All right, put on the list.
That's great. That you really just stepped it up for me.
Nailing it.
Yeah, I'm like...
Is this the first tour that you've sold your artwork on?
Yes.
How did that come about?
I've just been drawing a lot more since the record. I don't know. Yeah, and I was like, why not? People have been asking a lot too, like online, like I would buy that whenever I post something. So I'm just trying to give them what they want.
So you're like, here you go, buy this.
Here you go. Yeah.
Help me buy my mansion.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have some pieces at the House of Blues tonight?
I will.
Yeah,
definitely.
So get there early.
Yeah. You
want to get in on that. How often are you jumping into the actual crowd and handing your microphone over?
That was a first.
Really?
That was a first, yeah.
And it worked out?
Yeah, well, I know that girl because she's a really big fan. She's a total sweetheart. She is always posting stuff, and she does music too. And she's asked me a couple times, like, could I come on stage with you? And I was like, I'm like busy or whatever, and she just happened to be there, and it was like the perfect moment. I was like, oh, this is the perfect part. So
She was good too.
she's really good.
She
like
nailed
dead on.
it.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
double
gosh.
took.
Like
like-
perfect note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like,
She's
okay,
great.
just finish it, please.
So there you go. All you gotta do is ask and ask and ask and ask and ask and
Yeah.
then be in the right spot at the right time. You can get on Meg Myers' microphone. Would you like to play us another song?
Yes. So this is Numb. This is my single off this album, first single.